Right, it's Chris, development squad's an exciting new addition to the club, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the next part of the club, like you say. It's a kind of bridging squad between the academy and the first team. So lads that have come through the academy, they've got a place and a time that they can develop. So that's the vision of the club moving forward, is to develop our own players as much as possible, give them an opportunity, and that's the way the club's set up. And this is the next part of being able to do that.
When and how long has the idea been developing for, and why launch it now? What's significant about this summer?
It was spoken about when I came in 2.5 years ago. So once the lads had gone through a scholarship of 2 years, the better ones had to have a team and a squad to develop in, basically, as the name suggests. Are they good enough to go straight into the first team? Possibly not, but they need, like I say, an opportunity and a place where they can develop. And given time, because that's the most important thing. A lot of teams and unfortunately a lot of players this day and age are just not given time through whatever reason. Sometimes they might be a late developer, they might have had an injury or whatever, and they're discarded. And there's so much good talent that goes to waste. And we really believe in our young players. We want to develop our young players. So this gives us an opportunity to do that.
How's it going to work then? So you say about giving a bit more time, maybe a bit of showcasing what they can do. How's it all going to fit in with, bridging that gap, as you put it, between the academy and the first team?
Yeah, so it'll run alongside both programmes. So the academy mirrors the first team programme. We've managed to do that this year with obviously around their education programme. And this squad will mirror both squads basically. So the programmes will run simultaneously. And like I say, it's a full-time programme, and to be fair, Warren's coming in. It will be a real full-on full-time programme for them. They'll be given a real good technical programme, physical programme. Mentally, they'll be stretched and challenged. And obviously he's got a real good experience and history of developing young players. So, like I say, that's the vision of the club, to develop our own players. And like I say, that's where they'll get given an opportunity to do that.
How pleased are you to have someone with Warren's pedigree on board as well? It's a major coup this summer, isn't it, to bring someone like Warren in?
Yeah, it is. He's got, like I say, vast experience of developing players, working with young players. He's got a real good way with them. He understands what it takes, like I say, not just technically and physically, but mentally as well. I think that's one of the big things with players coming through now, is that the mental side of the game. Are they stretched? Are they challenged? How can they deal with a hostile game that our first team players will have to deal with? You look at a lot of the games that's going to be coming up in League Two. Even last year, there's a lot of tough games, and they've got to be able to handle the pressure, handle the expectation, handle a hostile environment. So what Warren will bring is that experience of being able to guide them and help them to be able to develop all those parts to their game, basically.
And just finally, we talk about future development. How good is it to see 5 academy lads are going to be part of this first development squad, and that set up, having graduated through the first cohort?
I think the most important thing for those lads is they have an opportunity, and they've deserved that. I think that's the one thing that you look at all 5 of those players. Technically, yeah, they've got ability. Physically, they're in decent shape. But the one thing is, mentally, they've got a real desire and a drive to succeed. And like I say, we're going back to what I was just talking about before. That the mental side of the game is really, really important. And when we was going through the players, it was unfortunate. We had a cohort of 20 that were, will always be endeared to with this club because they were the first lot of Academy 92 players. And unfortunately we had to make decisions on them. Hopefully, we've helped them develop their careers, whether that's in further football or further education. They come out of the process, they come out of the academy in a better place than they actually arrived. And I think that's what we always strive to do in the academy. When I speak to Jamie, we'll get judged on the players that we don't produce. We'll get judged on the players that we do produce, but probably more importantly, or as important, the ones that we don't produce, and they go on, we help them to become better people, have better careers, etc. and whatever. But with these 5 lads, the character and attitude they got selected on first and foremost. They have got that drive, they have got that determination. Technically, yeah, they're good players. And that's the culture that we want to develop. You know, that hard work, that resilience, that work ethic.